Hi everybody and welcome to the DevSecOps course on defending AWS infrastructure against LLM scrapers and bot traffic. Let's start with a very interesting example from a commercial marketplace where I work as a CTO. These two plots show bot traffic patterns for two different months, July 2025 top and September bottom. X-axis, that is timeline, dates. Left y-axis, blue, that is number of requests grouped into 5-minute time buckets. Right y-axis, red and yellow, that is response time. So, blue bars, that is request volume, red line, average response time, and yellow dashed line, that is 95th percentile response time. You can treat it as the worst, slowest 5% of page loads. Now please pay attention at that part. End of July, there is a noticeable increase in traffic. And this elevated level of activity continues through August and September. I bypassed here August month at all as it is almost completely the same as September one. The percentile curve is especially useful here. It shows that even though average response time is relatively stable, there are many more cases where response time spike well beyond the acceptable 2 seconds. So here you can see that there are much more that yellow or orange spikes relatively to beginning of the July. This indicates that under heavier bot load, the system occasionally struggles to keep up, even if average number look fine. If you are interested in how to create such a plot yourself, please visit the link in the attachment. What we need to answer is what has happened in July 2025 that caused bot traffic to increase so much? Or was it just a coincidence? It appears that the significant increase in bot traffic around July 2025 was not a random event. It was a perfect storm caused by the convergence of three major independent global trends. So, the first one, that is AI data gold rush. New powerful AI models were released, creating an unprecedented demand of web data. Second, it is Google's big shake-up. Google changed its search algorithm, causing widespread panic. This triggered a secondary wave of monitoring bots as everyone scrambled to check their rankings. And the third one, it is security factor. At the same time, new software vulnerabilities were discovered, leading to a temporary increase in malicious bots scanning the internet. So let's speak more about the first driver, the AI data gold rush. There were three main points here, and it is OpenAI GPT-5's model generation. Despite it was launched at the beginning of August, final data gathering and testing occurred in the preceding months, especially including July. Second, it is Alibaba Qwen 3 Coder release, and it happened exactly in the 23rd of July. And finally, it is Mistral AI new models. That was the release of specialized open source models empowering a global community of developers to deploy their own crawlers. Now, let's speak a little bit about AI bots. We have to distinguish here two main types, that is training bots and on-demand bots. Training bots crawl the web all the time, reading everything they can find to train foundational AI models. And on-demand bots, it is when you ask an AI chatbot like ChatGPT a question about a current event, then it sends out a bot in real time to fetch the answer from a live web page. The popularity of chatbots is skyrocketing. Hundreds of millions of users create a massive stream of these messenger bots hitting websites every second. It is worth mentioning that these bots are aggressive, high volume, and increasingly ignore website rules like robots.txt. But it appears that training bots are not as harmful as on-demand ones. Let me prove you it. Here there is example of OpenAI bot ecosystem. GPT bot, that is classical training bot, it crawls public web for training models, and search bot, that is on-demand type. Finally, we have here ChatGPT and OpenAI user bots, which are mostly related with using API and plugins. Now let's compare OpenAI ecosystem relatively to Google Bing bots activity. Here I prepared you some interesting graph. So here is the number of requests sent by GPT training bot aggregated at 5 minutes buckets, and this data taken from a marketplace where I'm working at, you can easily notice that the count of requests, it is nearly something 50, 100, which is indeed not so high. Now let's view another interesting plots. At the up you can see the Google bots traffic. These peaks that you can notice here and here, that is a false positives caused by attacks, as Google and Bing user agents are often used by hackers to hide scrapping, and the same here in case Bing. But in general, classical search bots perform regular scanning with relatively constant rates. We can say that it is nearly 200-300 requests per 5 minutes in that exact case. What is more interesting is the ChatGPT search bot. Please have a look here, how its activity started to be growing with time. And it is real aggressive and generates very high peaks, so we are speaking about 1,500 requests in the end of July, and I doubt that something can stop that growing trend. And here is another example. Reddit reported ChatGPT bot alone consumed 30 terabytes of data from site in just 1 month, without any clear business benefit to site owner. It is indeed impressive. So let's go further and speak a little bit about second driver, the Google search shakeup. Google finished rolling out the mayor ranking algorithm change on July 17th. Immediately after the update, the ranking of millions of websites changed dramatically. This caused thousands of companies and CAO professionals to deploy their own monitoring bots at all once. So what has changed? The logic was quite simple. If AI can generate some content, so it means that it does not offer much unique value to a human reader. As a result, content creators saw huge losses in traffic, and vice versa from another side, Google promoted its own AI overviews, expanding its own AI-generated summaries that appear in the top of search results. Another essential change it is going into the direction of EEAT. It is not something new, but Google algorithms began to more heavily favor content that was clearly written by real people, companies with real experience. And finally, last but not least, there was a defensive move against AI chatbots, and Google refused from numbering Google search results. If previously you could use paging with 100 items, now it was reduced only to 10. And that broke CAO and rank tracking tools. Additionally, some new security vulnerabilities appeared, which triggered a lot of malicious bot activity. That has mostly passed, but the new traffic reality has remained. And for the first time in a decade, automated bot traffic appeared to be higher than humans one, and that ratio came 51 against 49. It all means we need to have a new strategic outlook at new AI bots realities, and they are far from pleasant ones. Partially, we can speak about some end of open web. The escalating race between AI companies hungry for data and content owners seeking to protect their assets is likely to accelerate. This will lead to more content being placed behind technical barriers. The concept of universally and freely accessible web is being fundamentally challenged by the economics of generative AI. Second, it is budgeting and infrastructure. Bot management can no longer be treated as a mere security add-on. The cost associated with managing high-volume automatic traffic, including licenses for advanced bot management software, increased CDN and hosting fees, and the human resources required for the analysis and policy tuning must be recognized as a core, ongoing cost of doing business online. Infrastructure planning must now assume a baseline of 50% or even more for bot traffic. Proactive threat intelligence. In this dynamic environment, a passive reactive security posture is a losing strategy. Organizations must invest in proactive threat intelligence. Finally, it is performance over quality. If your infrastructure would not be able to process high on-demand AI bots requests, then you will probably be bypassed by AI world and lose your positions. So performance in nowadays is especially important. As you understand, all above mentioned requires a little bit a new approach to infrastructure. The main question we should ask ourselves: how to manage high AI traffic, which is going only to be increased, on the infrastructure side. That is what that course is about.